Hi, I'm Cherise Marie, and I help entrepreneurs just like you supercharge their marketing strategies using Pinterest. And try saying that 10 times fast. Okay, so this week, I want to talk about how to find the best Pinterest hashtags because we should be using hashtags along with keywords to really find our ideal clients, to find our ideal audience, to really help people discover us and who we are and what we have to offer them. So we should be using hashtags because our audience are. More and more and more people of all ages are using hashtags in every version of social media. Even Facebook has got more hashtags in it, and you can actually search things by hashtag now in Facebook. So it's becoming global, a global phenomenon, and you need to not be missing out. But you don't want to just use hashtags, and you don't want to kind of mesh hashtags into the middle of your text. The way that you want to use hashtags is you want to put them at the end of your pin description after you've used some really great keywords. We're going to talk about keywords in another video, but this one I want to talk about hashtags. So we're using keywords, we're using hashtags, we're using all the tools at our disposal to really get Pinterest's attention, tell Pinterest who we want to be talking to, and to convince Pinterest or ask Pinterest nicely to show our pins to the right people at the right time. Now, the really nice thing about hashtags is that they do allow the most recent content to come to the front, as opposed to keywords, which show the most popular things. So if you're using a combination of the two, especially as a newer Pinterest user, you're going to find that your pins will show up differently on the two things, and that's a good thing because if you're using the right hashtags, you can show up where you wouldn't necessarily rank for the exact same keyword. I hope that makes sense. So how do you find these mythical hashtags? Start with your keywords and then take them over to Pinterest and put a hashtag in front of them and see what comes up. See if they are popular, see if they make sense, if the results make sense for what you're trying to accomplish as well. And just see if there are a lot of results or just a few results. A few results probably means that you're going to rank very, very well on that topic. Lots of results could mean that that hashtag spins really fast, and so your content may get lost in there. You may want to use it anyways if you're pinning that content over and over again repeatedly on Tailwind. But if you are using that that hashtag and it has a lot of other people using it as well, just be aware that it could go through, like you could have so many new pins coming in that yours gets lost, buried on page 14 or scroll 14. You know what I'm saying, right? And we don't want that. So try to niche in as much as possible with your hashtags and not be too overly broad and non-specific. This is where specificity matters, especially if you have a very large topic that you talk about. For example, if you're an online dating coach, online dating is going to have a lot of turnover, a lot of fast posts happening because there's a lot of online dating coaches out there. Whereas if you specifically say, and this maybe becomes a longer hashtag, that you are online dating over 40. Well, that's a different kettle of fish. Then you are specifically saying that you're wanting online dating over 40, and you're going to have fewer other pins to compete against because that algorithm is going to be a little slower. That hashtag's use is going to be a little less. and it may still be very relevant. I mean, if you are an older woman who's divorced and you want to, you know, start dating again, then you're looking for online dating after divorce, or you're looking for online dating after 40 or something, right? It's very helpful to know the terms that your ideal clients are using when it comes to talking about themselves as well. So that is where the keyword research really comes in handy, because it allows you not just the shorter ones like online dating, but then you can use the longer tail keywords, online dating after 40, which is a whole different story from just any old person who's online dating. I hope that makes sense. So that is how you find the right keywords for, or hashtags for yourself. Another really great way to find hashtags for your pin is to look at what your competition is doing. So if you look at, say you search for a hashtag that you know that is something that your ideal client would be looking for, look at your competitors' pins, the most recent pins that come up there, and see if they're using hashtags. If they're not, then yay you. And if they are using hashtags, what are the other hashtags that they are using? And then you can search for those and see if those results could also be an area that you would want to dominate in. And if they are, yay, use those ones as well. It's all about trial and error. And if you're ever curious about if your pins do better with or without hashtags, try them both ways. Try them with just keywords and try them with keywords plus hashtags and see what the difference is. Now, one thing that I will say is I wouldn't recommend using more than about 5 or 6 maximum hashtags, because you don't want your entire description to just be hashtag, 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 hashtag. Pinterest prefers that you not do that, so those pins are not going to rank well in the algorithm for anything other than the hashtag search. And like I just said, hashtag searches are based on when you uploaded the pin. So if you uploaded the pin 6 months ago and it had a hashtag on it, it's going to show up at the bottom of the feed somewhere if they even ever get to it. It may or may not take off. Pinterest prefers pins that include a really nice description that has lots of keywords that they can find, but that isn't just a bunch of keywords and hashtags all mushed together. They want it to actually tell people what it is and what you want them to do next. After they've clicked on the pin and they're reading the description, tell them what you want them to do in that description, give them a teaser of what it is, and then send them to wherever the pin is pointing to. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, drop me a comment in the links below or in the things below, and I will answer it in there and then probably make another video on it. Okay, so we've got our hashtags. We know how to kind of sort of use them. And that's really the bulk of it. It's not a hard process. It's a little time consuming to make sure that each topic that you are creating pins for has the right hashtags. But once you've got, most people once we've got kind of an idea of what hashtags are going to work for each of our topics that we talk about on a regular basis, it becomes a lot easier. It's a little bit labor intensive at first, but once you've got kind of a list of hashtags going, 20, 30, 40 hashtags, it's easier to mix and match. Now, one thing that I did want to mention that I haven't talked about yet is that you should have a brand hashtag. Yes, you should. And you should use it on every platform, even Facebook, who doesn't really like hashtags. You still should be using it because you want to get your audience used to the idea, and I'm bad for this, because on Facebook I never remember to do hashtags. You want to get your audience used to the idea that all they have to do on every platform that you are on is type your hashtag sherissepins, and they will pull up all of your content for that hashtag for that business. It should be a no-brainer. Very few businesses do this. The big ones do, like hashtag Nike, hashtag Amazon. They do this. They do this well. Us smaller guys, we tend to forget about the fact that we too can build a brand. We too are allowed and in fact encouraged to go the distance, to pretend for just a minute that you're a little bigger than you actually feel like you are, because let me tell you, you're bigger than you feel like you are, and to really lean into the idea that you're going to have an audience. And when you have that audience, they're going to want to binge all of your content. The best way to do that is with hashtags so that they can find you. So make sure that you are, at least one of those pins includes your name or your business's name, what you want to be known for. Okay? On that note, I'm out of here. Have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.